Yeah, yeah. Making her way to the mic. They start dimming the lights. You start feeling alright. From Birmingham, home of the Teddy Longs, and the room is stutters. More once you discover. For all of the lovers, Whitney Houston and Roman Reigns. For all of the lovers, and Mickey James and Marvin Gaye. For all of the lovers, and Sasha Banks, Janelle Monáe, Silk, Sonic, and Paige. Allow me to say, look, I just found a place, sweet escape. Every one of us, I was kinda late, cause I just made it off the struggle bus. Walking by the fate, cause I know it's right in front of us. Yo, I ain't with the hate, gotta focus on what's great. Ladies and gentlemen, Steph Hardy is on the air. Had to drop a couple bars just to make you all aware. So, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. You know I go by Joe or the rest of the flow, yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to a new episode of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast with your girls, Stephanie Hardy and Bianca Addison, the hostesses with the mostesses. Happy Friday. We are here live to talk to you about everything that's going on in the world of professional wrestling. Of course, we weren't on last week because I was on vacation. Only a little bit though, because I actually did do an exclusive, really quick interview with Lyric Wrestling / Lyric Swinton, who is a PWI contributor. So please check out that episode if you haven't. But I was on vacation, so that's why we didn't come to you with a proper episode. But here we are, we're back. Bianca, how are you?
Whew, I'm okay. It was a rough week, but we got through it, and I'm excited to and happy it's Friday. How was your week?
My week was fine. It was kind of interesting in the sense of going back, and getting back into the swing of things after
Yeah.
my vacation. So that's really what it was. But either way, it was still fairly decent. And I honestly just could not wait to do this episode because I'm just like, oh my God, yay, episode
Yeah.
time, let's go.
Yeah.
And creatively, there's just a lot that I still want to do, even though the year is wrapping up. Because, of course, even though, it's November, you still want to end the year on a high note. And
Yeah.
of course, this show has, had an amazing year. Not only with the addition of you as a co-host, but just it's had an amazing 5-year run and a 5-year anniversary year. So it's just been a lot of great stuff happening. So I was really happy to get this episode started because a lot of cool stuff happened this week. So I'm just really excited.
Yeah. And talking about your podcast, I love. I I'm proud of the growth and seeing all the legends that you interviewed and the way that this podcast has grown, and it's very inspiring. And yeah, I keep going, just and I can't wait to see the growth, and I can't wait to see where this podcast is take I can't wait to see where this podcast go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't wait to see where it goes. But then the beautiful
Yeah.
part about it is that with all of the places it could go, it's like you can go too. So
Yeah.
that's another discussion that we're gonna have later on, like not on the show online, but either way, it's a discussion that we are going to have in terms of the future of the show now that you're in it as well. But of course, thank all of you guys for watching us if you're watching us live right now. But of course, if you want to watch it later, you can watch it on the YouTube channel on the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. And you can listen to it wherever you get your audio podcast as well. But of course, now we're going to get into news and gossipish. And there was a lot of cool stuff that took place this week when it comes to news with some of our faves and some people with certain transitions that are being reported on. So, of course, we have got to start with one of my faves from my childhood who just keeps trying to find ways to take the world by storm, and that's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Mr. Man is being honored at the 8th annual American Black Film Festival honors next February, of course, which
Oh,
is Black History Month.
yeah.
Um, it was reported by Variety as an exclusive this week that he will receive the Entertainment Icon Award, which will be presented by Nice Crowd. And this award ceremony will be taking place on February the 16th at the SLS Hotel in Beverly Hills. And Nice Crowd's co CEOs and presidents Jeff Friday and Nicole Friday released the following statement saying, quote, Dwayne Johnson is the very definition of an entertainment icon. From his trailblazing career in sports entertainment to his extraordinary success in film and television, he has become one of the most influential and beloved figures in global culture. His journey embodies the power of perseverance, authenticity, and charisma, values that reflect the spirit of ABFF, and we are thrilled to honor him with this year's Entertainment Icon Award to celebrate his incredible contributions to the world of entertainment. And of course, we all know there are so many things that can be said about him in the wrestling scope of things, with him now being on the board of directors with, WWE and TKO and all of the stuff that happened with the final boss character, whether you liked it or whether you didn't, either way, there's a lot that can be said about him with his legacy in wrestling. But you just can't deny his impact on the culture of these past 20 years, which is so crazy to think about, from where he started as a generational wrestler,
Yeah.
and then becoming a movie star that became more and more bankable as the years went on. And his work ethic is something that is very aspirational as well. So congratulations to The Rock for getting this honor from the American Black Film Festival. Like, I think that's really amazing.
Mhm.
So in the midst of this conversation, however, as this news came out and it went viral, many people were wondering how is it that they felt like he qualified for this award, seeing as there's a weird wrestling discussion that takes place when it comes to his identity and how he presents himself in terms of his race, which is a conversation that keeps getting brought up every time his blackness is brought up. Because if you see him, he reps his Samoan heritage very hard as well. He's half black, half Samoan. But then he also mentions, himself being black, of course, with his father being Soul Man Rocky Johnson, rest in peace to him. And, his family just being interwoven in wrestling on both sides. And it's not something that he has outright denied ever, even in a song one time, I forgot who made the song, but he was on a rap song where he said he has black and Samoan in his veins. That's not something that he outright denies. So the idea of people being kind of weird about him getting this award or making it seem like he doesn't deserve it because he wasn't in that many black movies, like, say, Why Did I Get Married Too, when he made that appearance with Janet Jackson at the very end, or stuff like that, doesn't I feel like that doesn't disqualify him from deserving the award, because regardless, he is still very much a black man, and he deserves this based off of all that he's done in entertainment and wrestling. So I think he deserves it. I don't see an issue with it. It's a part of his identity,
Mhm.
regardless to how people feel about him, always representing the part of him that is, of course, Polynesian, but still, like, this is a black man.
Right.
So stop being weird.
Many people don't understand that we didn't ask to be here. We didn't ask to be a certain race. And people are getting on him for something that he has no control over,
Right.
which will never make sense to me. But with that said, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, whatever you know, whatever we you want to whatever you want to call him, he
Hmm.
really deserves that. He has proven that he has. Oh, look at that! I love his mom. Oh,
Me too.
oh, she's the best. He really he definitely proved himself. He from coming from nothing and having only $7 in his bank account before making it big. He never forgot where he came from, and he always talks about on his Instagram. Um, he talks about what the best part of fame is, and he shows that by being kind to his fans and
Hmm.
not turning his back on anyone, knowing although he, despite his busy schedule and all his business ventures, he has his tequila brand, he has his movie production, Moana live action is coming out, Jumanji is coming out. So he's, with all of that, he's humble, he's kind, and he doesn't he 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 distinguishes himself from his character very well. He doesn't he's he whenever he meets his fans, he's Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock. He's not like a mean persona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I really like that, and it shows that, and it's, he's a great person because of who his mother is and and the way he hangs out with her, and I just love the relationship. He's and knowing that he's the only child, and been through a lot. So yeah, it's, and all that said, he deserves it, and I'm happy he's the recipient of that award.
Yeah, me too. And honestly, it's like you said, I definitely agree with that. You said a mouthful when you said that people can't help, how they come into the world. You
Yeah.
are so right about that. Like when people are born, we don't ask to be here, and it's just you basically take what you can and make the best out of it. And clearly, with the legacy of his father, being a part of the first black male tag team, champions, and then, with his mother being a part of, the Anoa'i family and everything else. Like there is so much that was given to him that he did not, necessarily ask for. None of us ask for the things we're born with. And honestly, what he has done, he has taken that part of his identity and he's taken everything and all of his great qualities and built a great life for himself, regardless to any choices or things that he might have said or might have done, business wise, even in the political sphere at times or whatever. He still carries himself as a person that treats people like people, while also still taking care of himself and taking care of the people who depend on him, and cementing his own legacy and also setting forth his children on their own legacy as well, like with Ava and, those and the two little girls, Jasmine and Tiana, and whatever it is that they're going to bring into the world. So, yeah, The Rock deserves this award. And I feel like we should stop being weird about how people decide to show up for their identities because at the end of the day, it's theirs.
Mhm.
So, right. He deserves it. So congrats to him. And let's stop being weird about people's identities because if it's not your identity, then stop tripping on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So moving forward with more news and gossipish, we had contract news on Anna Jay from AEW, a very, very bright and beautiful talent. It was reported by Fightful Select that her contract with AEW is believed to be expiring within the next few months, though a source is expecting the company to make an effort to retain her and re-sign her, but is unknown if Jay and AEW have officially begun negotiations to renew her deal. And of course, as of recently, on this past big episode of Dynamite and Collision, she and Ty Conti participated in the women's tag team title tournament, to which they sadly lost, which bummed me out. They lost to Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. And so, and this broke my heart because when it comes to Ty Conti and Anna Jay, they were both very much integral in terms of like the beginning stages of what the women's tag division could look like in AEW when the company first started. So for them not to be in the tournament anymore really broke my heart this week. But I'm hoping that just because they're not tag team champions now does not mean that they won't ever be tag team champions. Of course, I'm pretty sure, at some point, even if they're not the first, there could be the second or the third, and that's still very much just as important. So I'm sure within the next few days we'll hear more about what her plans are for her career. She's still relatively young. She's 27. You know, the sky is really the limit for her. And she's proven that she's definitely one of the pillars of the women's division of AEW. So I hope that, you know, whatever decision she chooses to make is the best one for her.
So she's a pioneer of AEW women's.
Definitely.
I like that. I like that.
Definitely a pioneer.
She's good.
Yeah, and she's beautiful. So,
Okay.
yeah, like her phrase that might have caught people off guard the first time she said it, like it was really hilarious when she said that she has a big ass and a bad attitude. But
Hey.
as she's in that ring, you know, when she's in that ring, she definitely is focused and locked in. And like I said, she's still young. There's still so much that she has to look forward to. So we'll see what happens, but I was definitely sad when her and Ty Conti didn't win. I was like, God dang it, come on, justice. But you know, there's more for her to do. And in speaking of more opportunity for people, Bianca Belair was the subject of some exclusive news. She officially signed with CAA, which is basically like a talent agency that a lot of famous people sign up with that also represents people when it comes to going out for different roles and having brand deals and such. So she officially signed with them. So congrats to her for that. I love that because one of my favorite things is just seeing wrestlers pop up in so many different avenues, you know, kind of like how we've seen with CM Punk in the last few years pop up in different movies and such and TV shows. So we did see Bianca Belair on an episode of Bel Air, which was
Yes.
on Peacock, and it's in its final season. And that blessed my it scratched an itch in my brain because I was just like, if Bianca Belair's name is Belair, then how come she hasn't been on the Bel Air show yet? And then when she was on there, I was like, yes, thank God. So hopefully we'll have more moments with her on TV and in movies and such. You know, she is a bankable star. Most recently, she was also on 106 in Sports on BET, which is hosted by Ashley Nicole Moss and Cam Newton. So that was really cool.
They went 06 in Sports.
Yes, I did. Bianca, there's a show on BET now called 106 in Sports, and it's kind of like a top 5 and not like a top 10 like it used to be for music, but it's like a top 5 of different sports news stories, and then they'll have different sports figures come on the show. So, yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's like a retooled version of 106 in Park, except it's 106 in Sports.
When did this
And it's
happen?
this happened, I think, last month. It premiered last month. And the reason why I know about it is because one of the hosts, Ashley Nicole Moss, like she's a CBS Sports basketball analyst, but she is this really gorgeous girl who also does interviews for Complex and so many other platforms and such. And then she hosted with Cam Newton, who's of course is a football legend at this
Yeah.
point. So yeah, that's how I knew about it. But it's a pretty good show. It comes on Wednesdays after AEW at 9 on BET, and it's really cool. And Bianca was on the show
Oh wow.
last week. Yeah.
I did not know that there was a show. Like I know 106 in Park, but 106 in Sports. That's funny. I might have to check it out.
Yeah, please do. It's really good. I really enjoy the concept of it. Of course, you do have your people who are very hardcore 106 and Park fans who are just like, nah, we didn't ask for this. But if you give it a chance, you know, I feel like if you really give it a chance, you know, it's really nice and it's really funny. Like the banter that Ashley and Cam have is really cool. And it's very current, you know, and up to date. So it's very fresh. I like it.
This can't
Yeah,
happen.
I like it. But big ups to Bianca Belair, still out here making appearances, even though we are still trying to patiently and impatiently wait for her return to the ring. Oh my God, I miss her. Um, I miss her so much, Bianca. Come
Hey,
back to us.
I miss her too, but hey, I talk to myself all the time. So.
Come back to us, lady. Lord, heal her finger. Lay healing hands on her knuckles. Please. We need her. Bring her back to us, Jesus. Yes. Okay. Yes. We love you, Bianca, girl.
I love you, Bianca. I love me too.
Yes,
But
love yourself. Yes. So moving forward with other amazing Black women in wrestling, Kalani Jordan, the TNA Knockouts champion, Knockouts world champion, I should say, made had an interview with TV Insider, and it was a pretty good interview. But within that interview, she talked about two things that caught my attention, which was about who she would want to face in terms of defending her championship from TNA legends and pillars. And one of the people she mentioned was Mickey James. And that made me so excited because I was just like, oh my God, her versus Mickey James would reset my entire mind. It would just be really cool because, of course, when she first won the TNA Knockouts World title, she went down a list and started challenging so many other people like Tasha Steelz, like Mickey James, like ODB, and so many other TNA knockouts, from the past and the present. And it was just really cool that she was doing that because she was game to fight anybody. So I think that's really cool. And then she also gave a timeline as to when she is going to get married to Carmelo Hayes. She could
yeah.
become Mrs. Kalani Jordan Hayes. She stated that their wedding should be taking place towards the end of next year. So, or at least towards the end of the summer next year. So either way, they're planning their nuptials to be very soon, and I can't wait to see those pictures because I know she's going to be a gorgeous bride. And I'm just so happy because they're such a lovely couple, and they bring out the best in one another. And that's something else she mentioned in the article and the interview too. So big ups to Kalani. On NXT Gold Rush next week, she is set to defend her knockouts title against Lee Ying Lei and Jordan Grace. So that's gonna be cool. So yeah, Kalani is out here trying to make these moves and make the championship, mean something by facing off against the best of the best.
I love this for her. She's like the
Hmm.
Roxanne Perez of NXT. She
Really?
has, I mean,
That's really high praise. Yeah.
in terms of like manifesting dream matches,
Hmm.
you have we saw Roxanne Perez manifest her match with Nikki Bella. So Kehlani Jordan and Mickey James would be something. Like that's like a great passing the torch. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That would be
It
cool.
would. It really would. And because I love Mickey James all the way down, I just feel like that would just be amazing. Um, but of course she has to get past her next two opponents next Tuesday first. But it's gonna be cool regardless of whatever direction they choose to go with her in the Knockouts Championship. A part of me was really hoping that at some point she could qualify and become NXT Women's Champion at some point because we do need another Black female to be NXT Women's Champion. But we'll get to that direction in a few more minutes. But either way, Kalani is out here making moves and she's found love, and that love encourages her and she encourages him, and a lot of great things have happened with Carmelo tonight. We're going to get into that later too.
Shout out to the hymns.
Yeah, shout out to the hymns. So also in news and gossipish, I wasn't trying to speed past it, I promise I wasn't, but yeah, shout out to him. We love him and we love her too.
Yeah.
So speaking of her, Trish Stratus had an interview with Bill Apter, who is someone who I had the pleasure of meeting at, I believe, WrestleMania week in Vegas. He is a phenomenal wrestling journalist who's been in the game for a very long time. Also, along with Dr. Daryl, he has also been in the game a long time for wrestling journalism before wrestling journalism, took its spot as to what it is now. Both of those are pioneers. He had an interview with Trish Stratus, and in that interview, she talked about, taking on the match with Tiffany Stratton at Evolution for the women's championship. So she stated that she was in a difficult position and that she was reluctant to be in the match because she was focused on her mom and her battle with cancer. Her mom battled Hodgkin's lymphoma, and she got it in 2006. And her retirement decision was partially influenced by her mother, getting her treatment. But then she said somehow Evolution comes up, and she said, I remember they proposed to me to fight Tiffany for the belt, headlining this amazing pay-per-view, which they brought back. And she stated that she remembered, what an opportunity, but I can't leave my mom. And she fought the sickness, but then she also said, I remember that was one of the reasons I did retire, but they were asking her to come back during her radiation. And she had the initial inclination to say no, but she received the encouragement from her mama to go ahead and wrestle the match. Her mom insisted that she take the match and the opportunity that was presented to her. She said, fast forward the story, my mom said, do it. Not even a question. She said, oh my God, please do it. And she also wanted to make sure that the story justified the match, which a lot of people did have feelings about when it came to the story of how Trish and Tiffany were going to get to that title match, because the last time we saw them together was at Elimination Chamber when they were tagging with one another. So,
Yeah.
of course, with Evolution coming together the way it did, the build to it was not perfect. But clearly, women, as we constantly do in every form of life, we make the very, very best chicken salad out of, the chicken stuff that we're given, and they had an amazing match. So in the midst of this, she just remembered that her mom encouraged her to wrestle that match. She said, it was like, do it, do what you can while you can, because situations change, health can change, and anything can change in your life, because you just never know what can happen.
Right.
And yeah, this really tugged at my heartstrings, because her mother did sadly pass away this year, due to her fight with lymphoma. But at the same time, I'm glad that her mother still encouraged her and said, look, go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do this match, because you just never know what could happen in life. And as a person who's had to deal with this type of thing, not saying my mother does not have cancer, but my mom has been sick with different ailments for a while. But the one thing my mom always raised me and my sister with was the notion of, you have to keep going. You have to keep going, because I don't want you to stop for me. Like, do not stop for me. Please keep going, and please live your life as much as you might want to, because Trish seems just like me. It's like you want to stop everything for your mom, because you know that your mom would stop everything for you.
Right.
But your mom is just like, look, you have your life to live. You got to go. And I'm happy that Trish was able to perform in the midst of all of that, because the match that she had with Tiffany Stratton was fantastic. I love that match, and I cannot stand it when people get online and talk about how Tiffany didn't have any memorable matches during her championship reign, because this one was fantastic. I don't know if I'll ever go back and watch this Evolution, because I feel like if I do, I'll just start crying, for so many reasons, and y'all know what they are. But it's just, she did such a good job in this match, and Trish basically showed that if she wanted to be a full-time competitor again, she could. She really could. She kept up with Tiffany the entire time. She was pulling off stuff. From what I can remember in person, she was pulling off stuff that you just don't expect a woman, of her caliber to pull off, and she did it, and it was so good. So I low-key wanted her to win the
Me too.
championship. It was nuts. But Trish did the very best that she could, and big ups to Mama Stratus
Yeah.
for encouraging her, even while she was fighting with that.
Shout out to moms, period. The good moms.
Yes,
The
the
great
great
moms.
mothers.
My moms always have great quotes.
Mhm.
Moms always have great wisdom. Like, I was talking to my mom, and she told me years ago, um, knowledge is gain. She she taught me something about knowledge and how it's gained and learned. I forgot the quote, but it's something along the lines of that, and I will never forget that quote. But yeah, moms have the wisdom they bestow upon you and sticks with you because it's just too profound. And like it's like who taught you this stuff? Where did this knowledge come from?
Yeah, I told my mama at one point that I have these weird theories about life that are
Yeah,
sometimes spiritual, but sometimes just really weird. But I have a theory that I feel like when mothers have children, it activates something in their mind,
yeah,
and it activates something in their spirit to where they feel like when the time comes, I'm going to share this with my child, and then they bestow it upon us at the right time. So I don't know, I just feel like being a mother just unlocks a level of superpoweredness in a woman's mind that they can just give and bestow upon us, when the time is right.
yeah.
And it seems that, Mama Stratus did that exact same thing for Trish. And I'm so happy she did, because what we as the fans got from that experience with Evolution
It
was
was
fantastic.
yeah.
So I'm sending prayers and healing energy to Trish always. And of course, if you ever want to come back and fight somebody, we'll be here
By
and
all
we'll be cheering for you, girl,
yeah.
because you are still that girl. Thank you, Trish.
Yes, Legend Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes. I
I
love her
remember
forever.
I remember the quote my mom said. She said, "No knowledge is wasted. Instead, you gain."
Oh, yes.
Mm.
Period. Shout out to Mama Addison.
Mama Tina.
Yes. Mama Tina.
Like that's his mom.
Hey,
Hey.
not you got a Mama Tina. Oh, that's cool. All right. I love that. I like that a lot. Shout out to the matriarch.
Yes.
Yes. So moving forward, in our last story, in talking about people fighting illnesses, Rebel, not Reba, from AEW, who used to hang out and be sort of like a X factor when it came to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in the early days of AEW. It's so interesting how much they've done and how many personalities they've introduced even within these past 6 years. It's nuts. She revealed why she actually has not been in action and has not really been on TV. She revealed this week that she has also been fighting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma as well. It's in its primary stages, so it got caught fairly early, and it's also been giving her nerve issues that has affected the way that she walks. She's not really able to walk as well as she used to. She has to use a walker, and but she did admit that she, even though it has been tough these past couple of years, she does have plans to fight it, and see what her best options for treatment are. And she is going to rehab so she can regain the use of her limbs again. And this knocked the wind out of a lot of wrestling fans. It knocked the wind out of me because I did realize that she has not been, out there the way that she once was. And I was just like, so what's going on? Is she okay? And now we know the answer. But the thing that I loved was the fact that she was courageous enough to come on and tell the fans, and also courageous enough to say, hey, I'm going through this right now, but I'm going to fight it, which I feel like is the best course of action. So big love to Big Rebel. And I know AEW is supporting her in her fight, because I think Tony Khan did post something about it. And I just hope that she does get better from here.
It's always so sad when this news breaks in the wrestling world.
Hmm.
Like I always think about Roman Reigns. I cried
Yeah,
the tears were heavy that day. I cried so hard. My God. And it just especially it hurts when someone you look up to is dealing with something like that.
yeah,
It's like you wish you could take that away from them so they can do what they love and you can enjoy. You can keep enjoying, but it's this is like the sign like for it to take care of you so you can keep doing what you want to do, what you
right.
love to do.
Yeah, I remember I was sobbing that day too, and I had already had like a bad day anyway. So to come home and watch Raw and think you're gonna unwind, and then all of a sudden you find that out, it's just like, bro, I sobbed and I was like I was so angry.
Yeah.
But when he came back and said he was in remission, I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
I thank you, God. Cause
that's right.
look, I was so happy. I was so happy. But, and then it also knocks the wind out of you a bit because something that I feel like wrestling fans have trouble doing is sort of separating the fact that these are larger than life figures on television, but not realizing that they are also still human beings.
Yes.
And when you find out news like this, it just sort of reiterates the realness of life, and how it doesn't discriminate at all. It's so strange. It just made me think about Hamilton. Life doesn't discriminate between
Oh,
the sinners and the saints. And that's just the truth. Like
yeah.
stuff like that, hard stuff like that doesn't discriminate even in wrestling. And it's just and it hurts you especially when the person is your fave, but also, these are human beings and they go through their own struggles. And the only thing that you can do is just hope that they rise above it and fight whatever it is that's going on, and then, and live a healthy life past that, regardless of whether they come back on television or not. You just want them to be okay at the
Yeah.
very least. So I want Rebel to be okay. I want Britt Baker to be okay, because we haven't seen her. Um, and she had been going through some health issues herself as well, but she had gotten past it. But still, we
Okay.
just want everybody to be okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's really the end of news and gossip ish. And now we're going to move into what Steph and Bianca liked in wrestling this week. We we still have not changed this graphic. There are a lot of updates that need to happen with this show. Okay. 2026 is the year of the update.
Yeah.
I promise. I promise. This isn't it's like this is charged to my head and not my heart. This is gonna happen, okay? But this is what Steph and Bianca like in wrestling this week. And I'm gonna let Bianca take the lead here, because she met AJ Lee a few weeks ago. So tell me about that experience. Why were you going to meet her? What was going on? And how was that for you?
Yeah, so this was in Los Angeles at this comic book creators. What am I saying? It's not a convention. It's just like, I don't know what it was. It was a free comic book creators.
Get together.
Yeah.
That
Um,
yeah.
so when so when AJ Lee or when AJ posted that be she would be making an appearance there and then doing a free signing. Like, I could not resist because like I had met her 2 times prior, and which were both great. The first time was amazing. I cried. The second was twice as great. And I wanted to redeem myself because I felt like I embarrassed myself in front of her second time. So I'm glad I got to redeem myself the third time. But she is AJ Lee. AJ Mendez Brooks is one of the sweetest humans you could ever imagine, you could ever meet in your life. Whoo! When I tell you that, okay, the line was long. The line was massive. It was huge. But when I tell you that April Jeanette Mendez Brooks was there meeting every single person waiting in that line for hours. It was 9 p.m. and she's still there. It was supposed to end at 6. It was supposed to be an hour. I was shaking in my boots. I said, I'm not leaving until I meet AJ. I didn't come here 3 hours prior to the signing just to miss AJ. So when I realized that she will be going past 6 p.m., I was so happy because like I really wanted to meet her again, and I'm glad I did. But she met every single person waiting in that line, and she took her time. She takes her time, and she really cares, and she listens, and she is very genuine and kind to whoever she meets, and I'm happy she remembered me. She was excited to meet me. She says, "My girl," I almost cried. And this was the first time I met her before. This was my first time I met her after she returned to WWE.
Mhm.
2 times prior, she was still retired. So the last time I met her before this was in May. So not knowing that she would be returning 3 months prior, and now I met her now that she returned, it's like, what? The universe wants me to prosper. Hey! So AJ Lee, CM Punk 0. So that meet and greet universe, I'm still waiting for you to allow me to, for me and CM Punk to meet. But I know that they will be emotional and amazing. So when that day comes, well, I'll be sure to tell you all about it. But AJ was just so amazing. She's so sweet. She cares about mental health. I got to tell her that I started therapy, and I'm happy that she told me that I'm worth it to my screen. And I'm happy that because I don't hear that a lot. I'm not told that a lot. So for her to validate that to me through my TV as I was watching was very meaningful to me. So telling her that and telling her that I started therapy was very cool, and I'm happy that she's a sweet. I'm happy that the person you see is the person she is, and genuine and kind and sweet.
Yeah, I'm so happy you had that experience with her, and just knowing that, she stayed the entire time for everybody, that's amazing. Because
Yeah,
people have schedules and everything to keep and everything, but at the same time, I'm glad that at the very least she actually made the effort to stay for everyone. Like, that is incredible to know, and I'm so happy that she remembered you and all of the above. And I do want to take this time to just say, in the show, to just say that if you feel like stuff is getting hard, for anybody who's watching or who will watch this later, if you feel like stuff is getting hard, please reach out to someone who you can cry to. Or at the very least, please, if you feel like you need extra help with mental health, do not be afraid to reach out and find a therapist or find a counselor, who will listen to you and listen to your journey and your needs, because you are so very worth it. There are so many people who, even now, who see comments and hear things that people say about them, family or friends, or even people who aren't friends, ops or whatever, and they take it to heart, and they feel like it indicts who they are and it represents who they are, but that's just not true. And I just want to be a very responsible person with this platform to let you know that you do matter, that you are worth going to get help, and you are worth it regardless to whatever situation you find yourself in, no matter what mistakes you may have made, no matter who you are, where you've been, what you've gone through, you are worth it. And it's not just me saying it. It's Bianca saying it. There's a whole slew of people. AJ Lee says it. Everyone says it. So, we are all saying this to you guys right now. Like, do not feed into the notion that you don't matter, because it's just not true. It's just not true. You matter. You are valid. You are loved. You're beautiful. You are, and you matter. So, I just wanted to take that time to say that, because stuff has been getting kind of crazy out here, and I've seen so many sad things, and I just feel like we just need to take that time to take care of each other, because it can get rough out here, but we need to open our hearts and open our minds and just let people be themselves, and let people, be who they're going to be, and respect that, and not attack them for it, and just not be mean, because you wouldn't want anybody doing that to you, trying to tear your spirit apart. So don't tear apart anybody else's. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because what you said about AJ just made me feel like that was necessary to say because Miss Ma'am has been doing the work as a mental health advocate. She has had her own struggles, and I'm just so happy that she is showing up in this way now, not even just in the comic book world, but also in the wrestling world now and everything else. Um, so yeah, I'm glad you had that experience with her, and I'm happy that you have met her, and you will meet CM Punk one day. We're going to manifest that. It's gonna happen, and I'm
Yes.
gonna meet him too, and it's gonna be great. Okay.
Hello. I
Yes, it's
also got to tell AJ. I also got to tell her that I will see her at Survivor Series.
Hey, you're going.
No, on my TV, and but she like
Okay.
I said, and then we like teased a little bit. It was like it was playful banter. I said
Mhm.
never say never, but don't hold your breath. I said I didn't say never, and I didn't hold my breath, and here she is. She returned. So
Exactly. Never say never in wrestling. That's literally the rule. You
but
never say never.
don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath. Please breathe, but please understand that the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to AJ. And we're going to talk more about her a little bit later on in the segment, but I'm glad you got to meet her. I'm so happy. Big ups to everybody who got to meet her, except that one guy. But we're not going to talk about that. Moving on. Just moving into Monday Night Raw. Of course,
I
we know
see
this
a
Raw was in Madison Square Garden. Oh, there she goes again.
ah
um, um, in Madison Square Garden, it was highly touted as John Cena's final Raw, but we're going to get into that later when we talk about the men in Raw. Maxxine Dupri, somebody who I've been so happy to see grow in ring this entire year from the Royal Rumble all the way up until now, and even seeing how she supports her fiance, Anthony Luke, when he was on LFG in the first season and all of the above. She has now reached the pinnacle, one of the great pinnacles of her wrestling career, and become the new women's intercontinental champion, beating the man, Becky Lynch, with in ring action with the assist to AJ Lee, who did distract Becky Lynch, but at the same time, she should have been locked in and not making excuses because now look at her, you're beltless and Maxine is the champion. It was so amazing. You could tell it meant a lot to her. Her family was there. Her fiance was there cheering for her because there was a video I did see on TikTok of him cheering her on the entire time. It
aw.
was so fantastic. I was so happy for Maxine because she really has been putting the work in. If you follow her on social media, for someone who started as a really beautiful ballet girl who shared a lot of similarities with Stacy Keebler.
Hmm.
Um, like that's just who she reminded me of a lot when it comes to like amazing blondes in wrestling. She reminded me a lot of Stacy Keebler. Um, from seeing her go from maximum male models to becoming an Alpha Academy girl, and now being an Alpha Babe, and now being an IC champion comically before Chad Gable got to be. It's
Oh,
just absolutely, um, it's absolutely fantastic. It was a feel good moment for sure, just blessed me in a big way. So congratulations to
yeah,
Maxine.
yes. Yeah, everything you said. I love the alpha. I love the alpha babes are it. I love them so much. They are hilarious and unserious, and that's why I love them. But this is about Maxine. I've I've yeah, like you said, her growth from her development is what is amazing to watch, and I'm just happy she got what she deserved, and she because we all know she worked hard for this, and she finally got, and she's finally champion. So that's it's
Right.
and think shout out to AJ, but AJ though, I see you, girl. I'm not I but from the moment this shot, from the moment I saw this shot, I said, I had my eye on you, AJ. I know what's going to happen. I see it a mile away.
Yeah, but then what's so funny is it's just even in thinking about Maxine's journey, just to center it back on her, I remember I think it was at a certain point I can't remember if it was last year or this year, where she was wrestling in a match and some people in the fandom were making fun of her here again being mean on social media and trashing her and how she performed at a live event at a house show, and they were trashing her, making it seem like she didn't belong. And even backstage she was talking about, her winning this title proved that she did belong. And that made me feel so, it tugged at my heartstrings, because I'm just like, girl, you always belong whether you won the title or not. Maxine, no, don't let these people, like, I'm like, it just made me so sad to hear her say that. I was just like, whoever made her feel like she didn't belong needs their ass kicked. I'm sorry, I'm cursing. But like, I was just really upset, at those people who made it seem like, oh, well, she's just a pretty girl, who belonged in the Divas era and all this other crap. Nope. She is a substantial wrestler. She is a substantial performer, and she belongs here. And she proved all of you guys wrong. And now she's a champion. So suck on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this just made me feel so happy. And it was just really great. It was well done. I loved it. And I want her to be champion for a while.
Me
For a long time. A long, long time. But within this match, you also had the craziness of Becky Lynch crashing out on Jessica Carr, the referee, and the way she pointed at her and, was getting physical with her. I was just like, so is she going to get herself intentionally disqualified so all she has to do is pay a fine and
too.
not be, and just get this over with? But then Jessica looked at her and said, look, you've got a whole thing back there going on. Focus on what you have and leave me alone. Like, she was very fierce with her and very firm with her, and I appreciated that. But it made me wonder, Bianca, do you think at some point we'll see Jessica step out of the referee clothes and put on her wrestling trunks and get to fighting with Becky for real, for real? Because she did have a background in wrestling before she was a ref.
I was going to say, I would love that to happen. I would love
Hmm.
that. I actually did not know that Jessica Carr was a wrestler until was it the Slimmer anniversary? Was it called Slimmer?
The
Slammer? That
Shimmer, the
Shimmer.
Shimmer anniversary, yeah.
The Shimmer. Yes, that
Yeah.
anniversary. Yeah, I did not know that. So I would not mind that at all. I think that's great growth for Jessica Carr to see what else she can do. I wouldn't mind that at all. That would be what imagine that happens at a Royal Rumble one day. That would be something.
That would gag me if that
Yeah.
happened at Royal Rumble this year. Oh my God. I would love it. I would love it so much. But
But
yeah, she seemed very focused in this match, and I applaud her being able to still, direct traffic and everything,
yeah.
while Becky kept, getting in her face and saying that she was being a corrupt referee. But in actuality, and even she kept it going on social media after she lost, kept calling her corrupt. And Jessica was like, it's so funny that I'm the one being blamed for your shortcomings when all you've done is take shortcuts in every match that you've had, since you've had the championship. It's like you've slithered out into pins. She lost via count out, and so many different ways in which she just had so many excuses, for losing these matches, but yet you keep trying to come at the ref who's just doing their job.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would be here for a Jessica Carr Becky Lynch match.
Me
I
too.
would be here for it. But big ups to Jessica for holding it down and calling it down the middle. Maxine won. So yeah.
I really appreciate Jessica Carr going off on Becky Lynch and yelling at her like that and losing it. It was great to see.
It was really great to see.
Yeah.
Big ups to Jessica and all the women involved in this whole thing, because it was great. This was one of the best parts of the whole episode. Like, the Raw was fantastic as a whole, but this really solidified it.
Yeah. Oh
Then we
wow.
also, of course, had Alexa getting in the face of the camera for sure. Talking to Charlotte about how disappointed she was in her not, wanting to team with Rhea Ripley, even though she had her reasons. And she was just like, you've been ghosting me, you haven't been answering my calls, what's really up. But then she gets attacked by Team Naya And that's just what I'm calling them for now, Team Naya. And then, of course, Charlotte comes out here with this amazing kendo stick with this amazing urban outfit on and starts beating the crap out of them and taking up for Alexa. And then they hug each other towards the end. And this is what we have. And so there was this distance that sort of made you feel like, okay, so y'all got to bridge the gap at some point. But I really loved this segment because you had Io and Rhea come out and then they were both staring at each other and then they started hugging one another and it was just so cute. But yeah, it was very heated. But the thing that kind of took it away from me when it came to Alexa's promo, which I mean, she's such a great professional at this point, was the New York crowd chanting what after everything she kept saying. And I'm just like, bruh, she has this high powered microphone. You can clearly hear what she's saying. Why do y'all keep saying what? It's annoying.
I personally like the words. It's hilarious.
I mean, I like the what chants, but I feel like the what chants belong to people who I guess you don't necessarily want to hear. But Alexa was saying something that was of importance. So for them to say it during that, I feel like sometimes it's just kind of like, okay, guys, for real, it can be a bit much at times.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your opinion. But, you know, because it's not that I don't like the what chance. I just think in certain situations, the what chance are unnecessary.
I agree. I like
Yeah.
when the Asian, like when the Asian wrestlers talk.
Yes, I definitely hate it then. Even when, not even just people of color, you know, when
Yeah.
they speak, but sometimes, like, even if you're from Ireland, like, I remember even before Becky Lynch got as confident as she is now on the microphone, they used to say, what to her? You know, like if you were from any country outside of the United States, they would do that. And that would irritate me because I'm just like, bro, if you just listen to what they're saying, you can put the words together and understand what they're saying. All you have to do is open your mind
And appreciate
and
culture.
open your appreciate exactly that part to appreciate culture and listen.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. It's not hard. It's
No.
literally not that hard.
Yeah. Culture is
But
great.
exactly, but folks want to be ignorant and it just pisses me off. But you know, and it pissed me off to a degree that they were doing the what chance at Alexa, but you know, the New York crowd has been known for being raucous for years anyway. So, you know, that's just a part of the game. But Alexa handled it wonderfully. So, because she's just really clever with the way that she handles crowds. So, big ups to her for that. So, yeah, war games.
My question to you is this. This is where I'm confused because the whole thing that Charlotte did a few weeks ago, and now they're back together. Now they're all friends and all friendly. I'm confused. Like, why? Like, she had made a whole speech about like why she doesn't want to be part of, like, why she doesn't want to be like a part of the. They can't team up for war games, and now she saved them from the attack, and now they're what is going on? Is she
I
on?
think
Is she
no,
part
I
of the
think
team? Is she not?
I feel like she is a part of the team definitely after tonight.
Yeah.
Which we will talk about. I think she is definitely on the team, but I feel like from a human perspective, I can understand her standpoint with not wanting to be on a team with Rhea Ripley because her and Rhea Ripley have a very storied rivalry. Like they have been beefing since 2020 essentially because even before Rhea was on the main roster, like they fought each other at WrestleMania in 2020, of course, the one during the pandemic for the NXT Women's Championship, you know, because that was when Charlotte won the Royal Rumble the first time. And Rhea wanted her to fight her and then she beat her for that title. And then they continued their beef into WrestleMania 39 and they fought each other for SmackDown Women's title. And then Rhea redeemed herself and beat Charlotte, you know, to prove that she was the next up star. And they've just really had this ongoing beef for a number of years. even before Rhea was on the main roster. So they've never liked each other essentially. So it made sense for Charlotte to, be hesitant to want to
Yeah.
team with Rhea because they never liked each other. They beefed for a while, for 5 years now. So it made sense to me in that moment. But of course, they talked out their differences. And we'll talk about that later. But I could see how it could be confusing because you go from not wanting to kind of not doing it. But I think the way that they presented it from SmackDown to this past Raw to tonight, it made sense. So
I think what I was confused about is I thought Alexa did something that caused Charlotte to go off. I didn't know that was between
mm-mm.
Charlotte and Rhea. So that makes sense.
Yeah, Alexa didn't do anything.
Okay,
Yeah, it was between Charlotte and Rhea. Alexa didn't do anything.
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all about making things clear. So yeah. Yeah, it wasn't Alexa's fault. Everything's fine. So, but as we get further into what we liked on Raw with the women, I just wanted to hold space for Bayley's Survivor Series shirt. I loved it. Like the logo with the
Oh,
Survivor Series, like it reminded me of my childhood of the 2000s and just what the logo looked like back then. And I just loved the t-shirt. And it looked like something you could get from Paxson or Paxson or however, because I actually got a shirt from them. My WrestleMania Vegas shirt came from them and it was so cute. Well, I didn't get it, my boyfriend bought it, but either way, it's this beautiful Survivor Series shirt was just so cute, and I was just like, oh my god, Bayley, you are wearing the crap out of this shirt. And I just wanted to hold space for it because I feel like we just need to appreciate fashion. And if there's one thing that WWE has is really great merch, and the fact that they have people wearing the merch like this, it feels so lived in and it feels so cute and great, and it makes them look like they are a fan of the thing that they're in. So it's just really cool. I loved this shirt. Like I really want it, Loki, and I don't know. I don't know where it is, but I want it. But of course, in this segment, Asuka was trying to recruit Bayley for their team, and she said no. Because of course they have their beef with with the whole damage control thing, which people brought up on social media. Which was so interesting because I was at that show where Bayley revealed to them that she knew that they were talking about her. It was nuts. So yeah, this was really cool. But I just put this here because I just wanted to talk about Bayley's shirt. That's it.
that logo will forever have a special place in my heart. I am so like, I want that logo back. That logo represents simpler times. That logo represents the time when I started watching wrestling religiously and weekly in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not. I'm not a fan of the new logo. I don't think anyone is. We want simpler times.
I mean, I don't have an issue with the current logo. I mean,
Oh, you know?
I don't.
Oh.
And
I
yeah,
mean,
and then in speaking of logos, even on SmackDown, like they had the vintage logo from way back in the day. Um on SmackDown when they were talking about the traditional matches and everything. And I showed my dad and he was just like, "Oh my god." He was just like, "I haven't seen that logo in years." Like to paint the picture, my dad is 61. Well, no, he's not 61 yet. He'll be 61 next year. But yeah, like, so he's been watching wrestling for a long time. So he has seen a lot of evolution of things in logos. So for him to see that logo and to see where it is now, it's just like, whoa. But I just really love this shirt. I want it. It's fire. Bayley wore the crap out of it. And then, of course, she had her little moment with Lyra where she called her an idiot and told her to shut up. So I guess Bayley is just still trying to figure out who she is now. And hopefully at some point we'll figure that out. But I just wanted to talk about the shirt because it was cute.
Imagine that shirt is 2X, an extra large shirt.
I'd wear it.
Yeah.
I'd still wear it because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
But in moving forward, Rhea and AJ had a chat.
I knew it, AJ.
I knew it too. And I feel like we need to hold space for the fact that AJ is now going to be a part of a match that did not exist during her time.
Wow.
Mhm.
Talk about women's evolution and the growth
Mhm.
from when she left. And
Like,
go ahead.
yeah, it's nuts. Like, I feel like that's one of the best parts about whenever the women's legends come back. It's just when they get to participate with the current women and do things that just did not exist for them in the past. Like when AJ was wearing the Intercontinental title, that didn't exist. Like she only fought for that one Divas Championship.
Wow.
And how the women didn't even have a Royal Rumble and people were hoping she was going to come back for that, and how the women did not have, I mean, really the men didn't have a War Games match either, because during that time they weren't doing the War Games matches. But now, just the idea that the women are equal to the men in a certain degree when it comes to these opportunities, and now she's getting to be the fifth woman on a Survivor Series War Games match. Like, that's the stuff that evolution for women's wrestling is all about.
And
It's
that's why
beautiful.
evolution should be an annual event.
Exactly. Or a biannual event at the very least. If you
Yeah,
don't have it every year, have it every two,
I would
you
love that.
know.
Yeah,
Just don't make us wait 7 years.
I
But,
can.
this was amazing for me because seeing Rhea and AJ sort of look at each other, I was just like, "Ooh, this is a WrestleMania match right here." But then Rhea was like, "Let's talk," and I was like, "Oh,
We
yeah."
already know. Yeah, I
You
know.
never know. It was
Yeah.
great. hmm So, as we move into the men, of course, we do have to address the sad elephant in the room that this Raw was the final Raw appearance for our John Felix Anthony Cena Jr.
Mm,
Help us, Lord. And it was marked on his t shirt, which was patterned after the New York Yankees, which is so funny because if you know the lore of CM Punk and John Cena and how CM Punk told him that he became a franchise and a dynasty like the New York Yankees, and how he punched him
yes.
in the face for it because he's basically from Boston, like this was really funny. But in the lore of sports, that's just really crazy. But yeah, his t-shirt was sort of patterned after the New York Yankees, and now it had his final Raw on there. So all those people who went to that event got that T-shirt. Very special stuff right there. So he came out and he kind of started talking, only to get interrupted by Dom, and this irritated me because I'm just like, can we just hear John talk?
I
Like, let's
know.
please.
Right, I was crying, and then that song. I said, "Come on, Dom. Why would you do that?" I was in the real. I was crying. I was crying. Why would you interrupt me?
This is tough, man. It's like Dom think he bigger than a program, and it just irritates me. But he got his consequences for thinking he bigger than the program, because you had the dream team of the 2010s come out with this six-man tag team match with Sheamus and with Rey Mysterio teaming up against the Judgment Day. And they promptly beat them in that match. And it was just, this was also another special part of this episode because in the idea that this was John Cena's last Raw, it gave off the impression like we were back in 2012.
Yeah.
And seeing them fight together like this with Ray like that and with Sheamus like that, it just gave every bit of nostalgia that we needed it to give for this moment. And it was so beautiful to watch them work together, do each other's moves, or at least as best as they can, because I mean Sheamus and John Cena weren't gonna hit a 619, let's be real. But still, watching them, just be cohesive together for this last time. It felt so good. It was amazing. And, this is a moment that I think we should just hold on to for a long time.
And the fact that Rey Mysterio um, and John Cena had the same theme song from 2010, 12. to now.
Right.
And I wish Sheamus still had his entrance song. That is just shame for pain.
Lobster head. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Exactly.
written in my face. Come on now. Yes, like
Come on now. The vibes would have been vibing, okay? But they won and it was great. Like it was just a very sweet it was a very sweet way to start the show,
yeah,
honestly. And, just spending time with John in the ring. I'm pretty sure, this is what he wanted to a degree, but I just wish he had more time to talk to us more on TV. But of course, this is a TV show that's full of wrestling and it has to be full of wrestling, but I just want to soak it in, you know.
yeah.
I just want to soak as much time we have left with him as possible. But of course, he did get challenged by Dominic. He will be fighting Dominic at Survivor Series for the IC title in San Diego, even though for a second I kind of thought that he was going to fight Ray in San Diego, but that, turned out to be something different. I'm okay with that. So it's yeah, the two dates, man. Survivor Series and then his final match.
I cry every time. This was a really hard Raw to watch because when I first started watching Raw, like religiously, like I was in high school, so
Mhm.
that feeling it was it, that it was a rough day because seeing one of my heroes for the final time on a show that got me through a lot in my dark days.
Right.
It was really hard, and it it just does not feel right. Like
Yeah.
like I felt like a teenager, and 15 years of memories from watching him on TV as a teenager is really weird not to see him again on my TV again. Well, for and knowing that he will be gone, it just does not sit right with me at all. And I just I want to believe that this is just a work and that he will not retire.
Oh,
I
Bianca.
want him to have a Mark Henry moment and say, "Got you all," have him wearing a suit and doing something. I don't want him to leave. Oh my god! Like, it's. I know people say don't get too attached, but this is different. It's I can't say goodbye because it's just
Yeah,
it's hard.
it is hard. It is. I completely understand because I had to write a letter to John Cena for Bob Culture podcast. Shout out to them, BCP Plus, and I was crying writing it. So I and then it's been a weird journey for me because I was there when he announced his retirement.
Oh god.
So it's been pretty rough, in that regard. But, I think the thing that's carrying me through it is just enjoying the moments that we have left, number one. And number two, just being happy at the idea that he can go out on his own terms because there are just so many wrestlers who just don't get that choice.
Yeah.
Who just don't get the chance, who have not gotten the chance to retire of their own strength and know that this is it, or they feel like they can go on forever when that's not the case.
Yeah.
I I'm glad at the very least, he has given us so much of himself for so long. And I'm not saying that it makes it any easier, but at the same time, he's given us so much of himself for so long that I feel like I'm kind of okay with it. But the inner little girl in me is just like, no, please don't go. But, you know, I'm just glad that at the very least he can still come out and give us a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we
Um,
get to talk a bit more about, what more he has to give us because there's a lot that
I
he's
would,
giving us in between this time. But this match was one of those great things, and it was fantastic. So we love you, John Cena, and New York
yeah,
clearly loved you. And I just,
there you go.
we just got to soak it up. We just got to soak it up.
I would really miss his promos. I would really miss the his promos are one of the greatest things I've I've, I've I've ever heard in my life. He goes in and like it's so real
Mm-hmm.
and just so authentic, and it's just very passionate, and I will that's something I will miss a lot, but I will something that always gets now is when he puts up his towel, and then I think these last few times got me when he when he has his last time is now, and he holds it up and then just looks at the camera like I get so emotional because like
Yeah.
every time, because like I know it's coming to an end, and we'll never have that again. We'll never have John and Stu again. We'll never see him running to the ring and doing
I
his
feel like
exercises
him
and do that.
him and Stu is like one of the greatest love stories in all of wrestling. It really is.
My
Like,
favorite moment is when he came back one time and then he said, "Stu, come on, man!" And then
Stu, it's been too long. Like him and Stu, I swear to God.
yes,
I want Stu to be somebody needs to interview Stu. That's what we
we love
need.
you, Stu.
For the culture, man. Somebody needs
Yes,
to interview Stu and ask him how he feels about this.
come on, Ariel. Okay,
No, like I don't even know if anybody has even thought about that concept before, but somebody needs to talk to Stu. Talk to the crew, man,
yeah,
because the crew is important.
yeah.
Talk to the crew. But in moving on, in terms of John Cena and his legacy in the Last Time Is Now tournament, on Monday Night Raw we saw the return of Nick Nemeth, formerly known in this case as Dolph Ziggler.
Okay.
He was Solo Sikoa's surprise opponent in the tournament match. And his reaction was through the roof. Everybody was screaming. I was screaming. It was just a lot of screaming. And here again, this fed into the 2010 2012 vibe. And this also made me feel away because in 2012, that was when I was getting trying or at least during the summer of 2012, I was getting back into wrestling on a more consistent basis because I was in college. And me and my boyfriend got together, and Dolph Ziggler was one of his favorites. Like he loves Dolph Ziggler so much. And like I remember him screaming on the phone when Dolph Ziggler cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Alberto Del Rio and won the championship. Like that was a very really huge wrestling moment for us as a couple. So seeing Nick Nemeth pop back up as Dolph Ziggler on Raw really brought back a lot of feelings, for me and a lot of feelings for him, and also just more feelings of the whole John Cena of it all. And it was just so beautiful. His performance against Solo was so fantastic. I wanted him to win so bad. But Solo won, and I was like, God dang it. God dang it. Can we just keep him here? Keep Dolph here and just let him have the run that like another great run because in my opinion he was one of those people who should have never got released
Yeah.
from WWE. He was so faithful to that company for such a long time. And he's doing great stuff with his brother now in TNA and stuff. But I never wanted to see Dolph Ziggler go because he was somebody who I believe should have been trusted as a top guy, like on the level of a John Cena or a Cody Rhodes. But he just never had that. And I'm just like, man, why not? Like it there's so much. I'm pretty sure we could have an entire episode about Nick Nemeth's journey in WWE, but I was so happy to see him on Monday.
Okay, so funny story. I
Mhm.
so, so I actually found myself sleeping during this, the
Oh
return.
wow.
So I woke up and all of a sudden I see Dolph Ziggler. I said, that was a huge surprise.
Oh my goodness. What a
I
thing to
said,
wake up
what?
to.
Huh?
I said, what a thing to wake up to,
I
huh?
know. I know. I know. I was like, no joke. I woke up and boom, Dolph Ziggler out of nowhere. I said, Dolph Ziggler, what did I miss? Oh my God, I slept through this? I'm so mad. So
Yes. I love it. I love it. I
I know
love the
that.
human moments. Yes. The human moments in between watching wrestling, man. Sometimes the tiredness hits you and then you wake
Yeah.
up and the whole world has just changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
Yes.
And we're back in
Amazing
2012,
stuff. Yes.
apparently.
Like you wake up and you went in a time portal and now you're back in 2012. Help.
Yes. Legit Bill and Ted.
Oh my goodness. It's just so crazy. This was so crazy, but I loved seeing him back. And of course they did the thing that they did for Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder and brought some t-shirts back for him,
That
I think.
too.
So I was just like, okay, so I don't know if this is a one-off or whatever, but this is amazing. So if you want Dolph Ziggler merch, get it.
Yeah, I also slept through Zack Ryder. And I
You know
also woke
what?
up surprised when Zack Ryder returned.
That is so hilarious. Bianca, don't make me have to fly to your house and keep you up. Come on now. We gotta, you know, we gotta get it, stay up, and so you won't miss things.
3 hours. 3 hours.
But you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
Bouncy.
exactly. In talking about things that this really isn't a throwback. This is more so a look into the future. Javon Evans did his thing in the tournament, in the last time is now tournament, against Gunther. He proved that without a shadow of a doubt that he is the future of WWE. I love that during his time in New York, there was a video that I think Shawn Michaels posted of a black guy pulling him off to the side and thanking him for being his authentic self because he sees himself in Javon Evans. And that made me feel really good to see. And just seeing someone as young as he is get to wrestle in basically the mecca of professional wrestling. You know, like that's the stuff that just warms your heart. Win, lose, or draw, Javon gets to say that at the age of 21, he got to wrestle in Madison Square Garden.
He's 21.
He's 21. He just turned 21 this year.
Wow. So you mean to tell me he
Hmm.
was around 19, 20 when he wrestled Randy Orton?
Yeah, like he was a very young man. Like
Wow.
he's very young. Yes. He
Wow.
could legit be my brother, like full on.
Same.
I mean, cause my sister is 24, so he's only a few years younger than her. So he could legit he could be my brother.
Yeah.
So that's why it warms my heart every time I see him making milestones like that, because he's a part of that young generation that's just really scrappy and just, ready to just prove themselves, and they just have that fire within them. So, I see him and I just see people like my sister, and it's just like, oh my God, it's so great. So, you know, win,
He's
lose,
just
or draw, he did
he's
a good job.
he's just like my country, young, scrappy, and hungry. Let's go here, and he will not throw away his shot.
Exactly, Bianca.
Woo!
I'm so happy that you're a Hamilton girl.
I love Hamilton. Saw that movie 4 times on the big screen.
Oh
Crazy good.
yeah. Oh yes. Javon is not throwing away any of his shots.
Nope.
But somebody who also didn't throw away his shot was the returning Gunther, who
Damn
came
it.
back with his silky black robe and his older version of his theme song. But funny enough, while this theme song was playing, you know what happened to me?
What?
I was saying CEO,
Ah,
CEO,
ah,
CEO,
mm,
CEO, 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 because her theme song samples the orchestrated version of Gunter's new song too. So it's just kind of like every time I hear Gunter come out to that song, my brain just be like CEO, CEO.
I laugh at his song. It's funny.
Yeah, but every time I do it to my boyfriend and I sing the CEO song to him, he'd be like, "Stop it!" And I'm like, "No, okay, it's Mercedes' song now." Oh my god, that song is public domain. It could really belong to anybody, but at the same time, it's just it just reminds me of her all the time. But Gunther is in the tournament now. He moved forward because he did beat Javon Evans. He choked him out.
Mm.
But, he's moving forward and now he has a formidable opponent to face, which we will get to because I am excited to talk about that.
Look at that
But
face.
Gunther, he moves forward.
That
And then, of
face.
course, when it comes to the men of Raw, we have to talk about Team Vision. Drew is a part of Team Vision. Um, Logan Paul had the audacity to come out in a vest like he's Seth, and that's a problem. I feel like him and Seth Rollins are going to be beefing forever. So that was interesting. And then, of course, Paul Heyman did reveal his fifth man, who we won't be talking about, but just know we don't talk about Bruno. So, yeah, that happened. But then another thing that happened was the fact that all of the men's War Games teams just got to fighting. Cody Rhodes came out there with a kendo stick. CM Punk started choking Logan Paul out with a kendo stick. And the NYPD Blue Bloods decided to come out and try to break them up. Very chaotic ending to Raw. But of course, when it's War Games, it's chaotic. So, yeah. Fun stuff.
Damn well that's not the Popo.
I mean, it looked like the Popo. They had them uniforms on. It looked like Blue Bloods. If it walks like Blue Bloods and it talks like Blue Bloods, then it's Blue Bloods. And that's just what it looked like to me. That's just what it looked like to me. They looked like real police officers.
But at this point, I don't know anymore.
I don't know. I mean, you do have a point because they do be hiring extras.
Yeah.
I understand that. And then with it being New York, it could have been, there's a lot of wrestlers in the New York area that they could have hired for that. That's true. But they looked like legitimate police officers to me. They did. But, either way, they got their butts whooped. Like, it was very chaotic. But either way, Raw was fantastic from beginning to end. And I would also say in this picture, you might not be able to see him, but Eric Andre was at the show and he actually got into a shouting match with Becky Lynch. And that was funny. There was a lot of great celebrities. Lin-Manuel Miranda was there.
Yeah.
Because, of course, he still lives in New York and he's a wrestling fan. And Roman Reigns. Even though you could, I guess that you could call him a celebrity. He's been on the cover of Vanity Fair. He came out and proved that he was going to be the fifth man, I guess, on Team Punk and Rhodes. And he got to fighting with Bruno. So there was that. And yeah, it was revealed. That's something that I feel like we should have talked about on the show. About Roman Reigns and CM Punk being on Zootopia 2 as Zebros. Like, that is the craziest
I wasn't
thing
going to watch, but
I was not
they had
expecting
me
that
at
at all.
CM Punk, and I may be watching. I have to watch.
I did see the first Zootopia, and it was pretty good. It was very intense.
Yeah,
the subject matter was very intense. I will say that. But, Zootopia 2 looks like it's going to be a good time. And it did make me, and seeing that those two are in that movie did make me want to see it. I was just like, bro, how did this casting choice happen?
Right.
How did this happen? I got to know how this happened. How? Like, it's so funny. And then what makes it even funnier is they're Zebros, and then it's just like in real life, they both are kind of in that transition phase between their gray hair and their black hair.
Ah!
So you literally have them as Zebros in real life, and now they're like black with white stripes or white with black stripes. I don't know. It's all crazy.
That. Oh my god!
My galaxy brain is going wild. My brain is going wild tonight.
Crazy.
It
Imagine
is.
why. Oh
I
my
don't know. I don't think that's why, but that's just something I just put. That was just something I noticed in my head. Don't mind me. Sometimes my brain just has so many different thoughts at times. So please don't mind me. But still, it's funny. It's funny. It's funny. That's
God.
all.
Lee
But
Kowski.
we also had Little Yachty. He was a celebrity guest as well. And the thing that he did, which here again made me feel very nostalgic, was the fact that he showed his PSP with SmackDown versus Raw 2006 on it. And I was like, oh my God, I remember those commercials. Jesus help. Oh my God. And I was just, how does this work? Like I was very impressed at the idea that he had one, number one, still. And number two, just the fact that he had the game and then just put it on the screen like that. I was like, wait, what? Oh my God, a PSP? What the heck? Stop it. Stop it. You're aging me.
I never
I-
owned a PSP,
Neither
but
did
I
I.
love nostalgia.
Me too.
I love just thinking about things that we used to have or saw growing up and the
Yeah.
simple times. And I love this so
Yeah.
much.
This blessed me. This really blessed me. And
Yeah.
really, when you think about it, in some of the wrestlers that I've interviewed, um, a lot of them have said that the reason why they've gotten into wrestling was because of their video games.
Hmm.
And that is a very valid way to get into things, even though, of course, I didn't grow up playing video games. I had a lot of friends who did, my cousins did. So seeing, a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people underestimate different points of media and how it actually exposes people to different things and different ways of seeing things and stuff. And also, and I never thought about it either until, of course, me and my boyfriend started dating and he's a gamer. So it's just a lot of those things that you really don't take into account until someone brings it up to you and you're just like, "Oh, okay." And seeing little Yachty, do this made him more relatable, I think. Not only just as a celebrity, but as a human, but also as like a wrestling fan. So
Yeah.
big ups to him for coming and actually bringing that and showing it on the screen because
Both.
that's really what it's all about right there. He's real. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. So we move into NXT Gold Rush week 1 because of course Gold Rush is over the course of 2 weeks in New York as well. And this segment right here involving Kalani Jordan, the TNA Knockouts World Champion, was very fierce when it came to her running into Lola Vice and Jordan Grace, who she is set to fight against next week. But I wanted to put this here because I feel like Jordan Grace's fashion choices,
Hmm.
um, backstage and just in general, have just been so fantastic. Seeing her with these glasses on, with this outfit on, like Jordan Grace is such a beautiful woman and she's so quirky and I just wanted to hold space for this because when I saw her pop up on the screen with these glasses on, with her hair the way it was, I was like, "You are so cute tonight, girl." I love her choices. I just love her fashion choices. They're awesome. And of course, Kalani was being as fierce as she knows how to be, um, and stuff. But the thing that bummed me out a bit was when Jordan Grace was talking about wanting to be TNA Knockouts World Champion again. And it made me sad because since Jordan Grace has been on NXT officially, she has had multiple chances to win the NXT Women's Championship, only to either get screwed out of her chances or to just lose it to, someone who just got the upper hand over her. And I feel like a question needs to be brought up. At what point are we going to see Jordan Grace, you know, graduate over to the WWE side of things? Not saying that TNA is a lesser. I would never say that. But at what point are we going to see Jordan Grace evolve over to the WWE side of things and win top gold there? Because seeing her going back towards the TNA stuff, I was just like, man, no, you should be going after the NXT Women's Championship. Like, do that. Like, but Bianca, how do you feel?
I really do like her evolution. I was not aware of. I didn't realize that was happening. I thought she was leaning towards the WWE side, not going back to TNA. So that's. I mean, I would definitely like to see her on the main roster in WWE. And I remember when I first saw Jordan Grace, she is strong. She has muscle. And
Hmm.
this is not the Jordan Grace that learned I was introduced to. So seeing this evolution is I I like it. She looks like Natty.
Yeah, I could kind of see that. She has some similarities to Natty,
Yeah.
but I feel that way about the TNA Knockouts Championship because there was a point where she was synonymous with that title. Like she had won that title a good, I believe, 3 or 4 times before the partnership that they had with NXT, like way before. So it's just kind of like, at what point are we going to see her? We know that she can be a dominant, champion. So at what point are we going to like pull the trigger on her in NXT to be a champion? It's like we know she can do it. So what's the deal? Like, why are we having her, you know, fight back for the TNA title when she held it for so long? Like, let's move her forward.
This is making Jordan Grace look like a valet
I don't
to
think so. I don't think it's making her
no,
look like a valet. No,
no, not or
no.
yeah, I mean this I mean at first glance, but I I take that back, never mind. But yeah, and I remember seeing this and I remember saying to myself, this is the first time I'm actually hearing Lola Vice talk. So that was exciting. Yeah, I know,
Oh
shocking.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean,
Lola, yeah, Lola is very substantial when it comes to her talking, and plus, I just love how she weaves in and out of Spanish and English so easily. Like, I love it. You can still feel what she's saying even when she weaves into a language that you might not necessarily know all of.
yeah, I like
Hmm.
the Spanglish moment.
Yes, I love it. So, yeah. Hopefully they'll where figure out where Jordan Grace fits in the WWE side of things. But that's not to say that her going after the TNA Knockouts title again is the worst thing in the world. It's not.
No,
But
yeah.
I just feel like she just should have been NXT Women's Champion by now.
Has she never?
No, she hasn't.
Oh,
That's the point I'm making. Like, she hasn't been yet. Even though she's had multiple matches this year for that title, she has not been champion.
I don't like that. That didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, because even at Evolution, when it looked like she could have won it against JC James, she got screwed out of it by Blake Monroe.
It's true.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah, justice for Jordan Grace.
yeah. Justice for Jordan, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to hold space for her in this outfit because it was really cute. She gives. She always gives. So let's give her a title, please.
Love that. Yes. Yes.
Yes. And then another thing that I enjoyed was the Blake Monroe Soul Ruka match for the Women's North American title. Blake Monroe is showing a lot of her darker side that we thought she left in AEW. She's bringing it over to NXT, and it's almost like she's trying to suppress it, but it keeps showing up. And it definitely showed up in this match when she was trying to break Soul Ruka's leg and break her knee to the point to where Zarya had to throw in the towel because she did not want Soul to be further injured from that. And Soul was angry at her for it backstage and everything, but at the same time, Zarya was like, "Look, I couldn't watch you, put your career on the line for that title." But Soul was just like, "Look, if you hadn't have thrown in the towel, I could have won. But realistically, the way that Blake was bending that thing backwards, I, I'm inclined to not think so." But it was a really good match all around. It was fantastic. Soul was being her regular, amazing self, and Blake was out here proving that she is more than just the glamour girl. But yeah, Zarya Zarya and Soul Ruka are really going through it.
I remember this. I remember. I just love every time I see I'm not Blake. Yeah, every time I see Blake Monroe's entrance, it's just very. I just love the production and the blocking of it, and
Hmm.
and the camera, the zoom in, the mirror shot.
Hmm.
It's trippy because like where it's like how do they film it? Like where where are where are you? Like it's
Like,
just
how does that happen?
yeah.
Yeah.
The walk off to the ring after the mirror shot, it's cool, and then you see um Soruka and her um s- um su- submission, that
Hmm.
whole thing, that thing on the top rope and the flip.
The Soul Snatcher.
Is that what it's called? The
Yeah,
snow.
the Soul Snatcher. It's nuts.
It's crazy. My gosh.
Yeah. And then I feel like something else that a part of when, as you're talking about Blake Monroe's presentation,
Yes.
like a part of her presentation, because she went to New York, she had this towel made where she had New York on the towel, like Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
And I feel like that wasn't fully appreciated as much as it was. And I wish I could have found a picture of it. But that part of her presentation was really cute too. It's like she's a very creepy and demonic Sabrina Carpenter. So I think that's really cute and very current. So it was really cool. She is still the women's North American champion, and so Ruka and Zarya are, I don't know, they're just going through a tough time.
It's only a matter of time before they actually like.
Yeah, they might just fall out pretty
Yeah.
soon, and it makes me sad because they were such an amazing friend group, but mm, it's getting terrible.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
speaking of friendships getting terrible, we get here with this title defense with Tatum Paxley going up against JC Jane in a move that shocked the entirety of the NXT fandom. The culling turned on Tatum Paxley and threw her back in the ring to JC Jane, who hit her rolling encore in order to win the NXT Women's title back. Now, some fans did notice that Tatum Paxley didn't have her own custom plates on the title. They were wondering why that wasn't the case. They were like, and I was trying to ignore it low key because I was like, no, there's no way that they would just have a short reign for this girl. They proved us absolutely wrong this Tuesday. She was betrayed by Izzy Dame, who had been showing signs of jealousy over the past few weeks anyway. But you would have thought that she would have done it in a way that would have still benefited her to where she could be champion. But no, they let spite take over and they cost Tatum the championship that she worked so hard to get. And now JC is the champion again. And it's just like, why? It was so evil. It was so spiteful and so rude. And I hated it. I hated it so much. It's like you lose your title and you lose your friend group that you thought you had. Tatum's been through so much.
So that blonde girl that was behind Tatum betrayed her, and now, yeah, that girl,
Yeah, Izzy Dame.
Izzy Dame, betrayed Tatum Paxley, the one with the belt, and now no one's champion. So, but
No, JC is champion now. JC Jane is champion now. She beat Tatum. She took advantage of it. But out of the both of them, none of them are champion.
right,
Yeah.
this whole this watch your back. You never. I know what it's like to be betrayed, but it's like watch. This is a perfect lesson to It's important. I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say it's not everyone is your friend, and be careful who you call your friend, and this is a great example of that.
Megan Thee Stallion's daddy said everything that grin ain't your friend.
Oh,
And wiser words have never been said. So big ups to him for saying that. Um, and rest in peace to him too. But seriously, Tatum, I feel like she now has to reach a point where she has to stand on her own 2 feet.
yeah.
Because it's so sad because she had a friend group. It's like she had, of course, Lyra, Valkyria to a degree. And then, of course, there was Shotzi and Priscilla / Gigi, but then they got let go. And then she found the culling. But to be honest, Izzy didn't ever seem like she wanted her to be there to begin with. It was always like, I don't know. It just wasn't genuine at all.
Yeah.
But I just did not think it would go this far.
I knew it would fall off. It just didn't feel right to me.
Yeah, it was so sad. And now here we are with JC Jane back on top with Fatal Attraction.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, so that girl looked familiar in the middle. Okay, I know I saw her. Okay, that makes sense. Damn.
The pain.
Yeah.
Cause I'm just wondering at this point. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's sad. It bummed me all the way out. And then this was the main event too, I think. So I was just like, man, come on. I hated it. It hurt. It hurt. But moving into things that didn't hurt, we get to the inspiration of the title of this episode of HWP, Daddy's Home. And this came from Opa Femi, who made his return after Ricky Saints finally beat Trick Williams in that last man standing match for the NXT Championship. He made his return, and then he also made his way to New York with Ricky, who wanted to address Oba and stuff. And so Oba said, look, I'll do you one better. I'll come out here before you even call me out. And he came out here with his jeans on, with his shirt off, looking way more bigger. Like, he really has toned up a lot more. Like, Oba really, this man, this man is just so big and just so out of this world. Like, Oba Femi is just one of, he's just, wow. Not even just because of his body, but just his presence. It's just so, like, his presence as a man is just so, ugh. And it's just, wow. I just appreciate his presence in NXT as the ruler. And the promo that he cut on Ricky, it resonated with me on 2 levels. Number one, because after he lost the NXT title, he said that he went back to the motherland. He went back to Nigeria, which is where, he and his family is from. And he said in that promo, he said he went back to the motherland and went back to the soil that made me. And that made me so happy because as an African American, and I've talked about this before, I am all about closing the gap between your Africanness and your Americanness. And I've actually been to Ghana, West Africa before. And so it's a different country in Africa, but, there's just the reconnection of going back to your roots that I just resonate with. So hearing him say that, there's just a level of representation that's just very important. And I loved hearing him say that. And number 2, it resonated with me on the level of him saying, look, the ruler is back. The bringer of war is back. Your daddy is home. It's just one of those things that you just cannot teach in wrestling. Like, he just has everything. He has everything. He just has it. And here again, it's scary because he's so young. He's only in his 20s. He's between the ages of 25 and 27. And he has everything. He just has it. Everything about him is perfect. And when he said your daddy is home, I'm not gonna lie, it made me want to just as a woman, it gave me feelings. It gave me goosebumps. It made me want to just be alive. And the crowd was feeling it too. Like they were taking their towels and swinging it because they knew it was the real. And Ricky said, "Look, if you want to fight me at Gold Rush, let's go." I think they're either fighting at Gold Rush or Deadline, one of the two. But either way, they're fighting each other. And I love this feud. I love everything that both of these men bring. They bring a lot of charisma, but Obafemi is just the big bad. And he solidified himself with that this week. And that's why I had to name the episode Daddy's Home, because he ate that promo. He ate it up. He ate it up. He ate it up, spit it out, and ate it up again. Obafemi, you will always be famous.
I love Obafemi. I remember like every time he comes out, I've never heard anything like that before. I've never heard a crowd I love when the crowd gets into it, and it's just all the ho,
Mm-hmm.
and then his wah, hey,
Right. He
wah,
just has
come on.
he just has the confidence and the swagger. Like, he just has it. I just cannot wait for him to go to the main roster, because he just has everything. Put him in the Royal Rumble next year.
Right?
He just has everything. Oba.
Something that I also relate to with Obafemi is my parents are also from Nigeria.
Really?
So, yeah.
You're Nigerian, Bianca?
I am. But I was born I was born in Pasadena, in California.
Wow. That's so great.
The food is amazing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully one day I'll figure out what my origins are. But yeah, I just resonate with that so much. So I love Oba and everything he gave in this promo. I would argue it was low key the promo of the year. But Cody Rhodes probably had something to say about that tonight, but we'll get to that. Oba 8. And then Trick Williams decided he wanted to come out here and try to fight for the title again, because he just I don't know, man. He's just dealing with some identity crisis. But then he got attacked by Miles Bourne, who was getting his lick back for getting attacked by Trick, and he told him, "Look, payback is a bitch." And now him and Trick are getting ready to fight, and I'm happy about that. So yeah, give Trick something else to do, because he can't always be in the title picture, babe. It's time for him to get called up.
Yeah. With his girlfriend.
Like, it's time for him to get called up, because, yeah. Trick is graduated. He's another person who's ready. He's ready. Send him.
I agree.
Send him. He's ready.
I'm surprised they haven't already.
Right. He's ready. Send him. But yeah.
Come on, boss.
But another great part, and speaking of soaking up whatever time we have with John Cena left, it was announced by Ava that John Cena will exclusively be selecting the Iron Survivor competitors for the men's and the women's matches for NXT Deadline coming up. And this was really cool, because over the past few weeks, they did show him actually going to the Performance Center and giving good advice and training, with the NXT roster down there, and also the Evolve roster too, and they shared their pictures on social media if you've seen those. So I think it's really great that he's getting to do that, and he's feeding more into the future of wrestling, which is what he wanted to do with the tournament. And now he's feeding more so into the NXT side of things with that in his last couple of weeks. I think that's really great. I wish that he would have gone down to NXT sooner.
Yeah.
like way sooner than this. But I understand he had a lot going on more than likely. But still, like if he had gone to NXT during its first black and gold era, oh my gosh. That would have fed families. But it's okay. He is doing what he can now as the future is beginning to take shape now that he is stepping down. So I appreciate that. I appreciate him investing in the future of wrestling. I love it.
Me too.
I love it so much. Big
And
ups to John for this. I can't wait to see who he chooses. So, in moving into the AEW Dynamite and Collision episode that took place Wednesday, I wanted just to big up the women's tag team tournament and talk about Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. Their entrance gagged me because they came out dancing with their overcoats on and their hats and everything, looking like they were like really cool spy girls. It was so cute. Like it was giving noir movie. Like it was just really cute. I loved them dancing together. Their partnership is really amazing. And also shout out to all these people for fighting right after they had that blood and guts match because what the heck? That blood and guts match for both the men and the women were very brutal. So the idea that they, healed up their scars and came out here and performed on this show was just absolutely nuts. So I admire them for that. And these two women definitely got the brunt of the craziness in the women's blood and guts match. So to see them participate in the tournament was really great. And they wound up beating Alex Windsor and Riho. So they're moving forward. So that's pretty cool. But I just wanted to hold space for their entrance because it was fantastic.
The physicality that AEW wrestlers go through is something that I don't think I've ever seen. It's insane. Oh my
Very.
god. Like, and they
Mhm.
go, I don't know if the blood is real. I don't know if it's fake, but oh my god.
I feel like it's real. It's
It's
very
just-
real. I feel
yeah,
like it's very real.
that's
Yeah.
insane. Wow. Like, wow. I understand. I mean, I do understand my supersize transition to AEW, but oh my god.
Yeah. It's nuts. But they did it, and it's great, to a degree, but then I just, my biggest concern is just their safety and just wondering if they'll be okay and just not getting any, just their health as a whole, just wanting them to be okay because losing blood is a very dangerous thing. So, but the fact that they did this and then, went and wrestled the very next week, it's just, yeah, we should really appreciate wrestlers as a whole.
They have a
Um,
Novocaine in their system.
no matter what promotion that they're in, just support them as a whole because they really put their bodies on the line, hon. And these two women definitely did that. And here again, I'm just sharing my sadness over Ty J not going forward with the tournament, losing their match against Megan the Stallion #2 Bane and Marina Shafir. I call Megan Bane Megan the Stallion because she seems like she's also very tall and fine. So she's not called the Stallion. She's actually called the Megasis. And I know that, but that's just my joking name for Megan Bane. It's all love because, they're just two women named Megan who are just very beautiful and big and tall. So yeah, that's my nickname for them. For her. And now her and Marina Shafir are going forward in the tournament. And it was also announced that, these four women will be participating in a four corners match at Full Gear this Saturday. And whoever wins the tag team four corners match gets to choose a stipulation of their semifinal match. So we have that to look forward to. So yeah. Um, I don't know who. I feel like the only team now that I think I'm rooting for to win now that Ty J is no longer in it are the Babes of Power. I want Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron to win because
I
I
love,
just want to see them have some gold around their waist.
I
Yeah,
love them together.
me too. I love them together. They're so silly.
Yeah, and
They are so silly.
I love their group. I love their conglomeration faction. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah, it's a right amount of ridiculousness, like for all of those people. It's hilarious. I love it. So at this point, I feel like I'm just rooting for the Babes of Power to win the the tag team titles because all of my favorite people are out. So I'm just like, okay, well, Willow, Willow is one of my favorites. I've loved her since I met her at Black Girl Magic, before she got signed to
Oh,
AEW. So I want to see her just win all the things. So yeah,
I love that for you. I love that.
thank you, thank you. Happy out here. So um, the best part of the entire thing, I have to bow down. We're going to bow down. We're bowing to Mercedes because she is 13 belts Monet. She
What?
fought a stellar match against Red Velvet to become the undisputed Ring of Honor Women's World Television Champion. Because,
Wow.
of course, Mercedes was the interim because Red Velvet was injured and she could not defend the title. Um, so in AEW and in Ring of Honor, they have interim champions. And of course, when the main champion comes back after being injured, they fight to see who's going to become the undisputed one. And when I tell you, Red Velvet has been so talented for so long, I feel like she deserves to be on AEW television a lot more than she is. And she proved that with this match against Mercedes. She came in with all of the fire and all of the spark that one needs to go up against a general like Mercedes. And it was great. Their match was fantastic. I do recommend you go back and watch it. But Mercedes decided that she wanted to continue to innovate wrestling by hitting a lung blower from the top rope onto Red Velvet. And that's how she won the match. Basically, it's like when she lifts up her opponent and hits her double knees into their stomach and knocks them out. And she did this from the top rope for the first time ever. And I'm just like, Mercedes, she doesn't know she this there's a reason why she's the number one in the world. There's a reason why I say she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time because she continues to innovate when she doesn't have to. And the fact that she has the moneymaker as her finisher, but then use this as a finisher too, she doesn't rest on her laurels. She's an icon. She is the moment. She's the CEO. She is 13 belts Monet. And here we are. And of course, now she does have her match against Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. But whew, the match she had against Red was fantastic. And Red Velvet came to play and she did a good job. But the CEO, this is her world. We're living in it. And that's okay.
I thought that was Athena Palmer for one moment.
Nope, that's not Athena. It's Red Velvet.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate it's yeah, she definitely Mercedes Moné has definitely proven herself. I appreciate her growth
Mm-hmm.
and her evolution from where she was and who we knew her to be, and the woman who we knew is evolving and proving that she's one of the greats, and I love that.
She
I
is
love
the
that.
great.
It may not make sense to a lot of people, but it doesn't have
It
to make.
only, yeah, I feel like it only doesn't make sense to people who are used to mediocrity.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's probably like the meanest thing I've ever said. It's probably one of the meanest things I've ever said on this show, but honestly, that's just what it is for me. But I mean, and then it's not even just the fact that she's winning these championships and people don't understand. She's putting a spotlight on women and in various promotions who might not have been seen otherwise. And me and Lyric talked about that on the PWI show. But, because a lot of the women who she has faced this year were ranked on the PWI list for the very first time. But her wrestling around the world and winning these titles is only just to big up her ego.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Either way, This was fantastic. Mercedes, this is Mercedes world and we're just living in it. And I have no issue with that. Now, when it comes to the men of AEW, Dynamite, and Collision, Bobby Lashley had me weak when he decided to throw Ricochet out of the ring while he was still talking on the microphone. Like, it was so funny because Bobby and Ricochet had to fight for the number one spot in the gauntlet match, which I think is taking place at Full Gear this tomorrow, to become the first ever AEW national champion. This is a new title, but Ricochet was talking all this trash, and Bobby Lashley got so tired of it. He picked up Ricochet, and Ricochet was like, "Bobby, put me down, Bobby, Bobby," and then he threw him over. And I was laughing so hard. I could not stop laughing at this part. And then on top of that, Bobby wound up beating him with a spear. And by the time the spear happened and the referee was counting 1 and 2, MVP was walking up the steps as if he just knew that Ricochet was not going to kick out of that. And he didn't. He didn't. Ricochet did not kick out, and Bobby Lashley won. So there's that. We hurt people. We hurt people. We hurt people.
What?
We hurt people. He hurt Ricochet, man.
I think I did. I went. I'm not sure if I misheard, but I think um, Ricochet made as a shout out to his wife.
Yeah, he did shout out to his wife because they were in Boston Wednesday, and his wife Samantha is from Boston. So
Oh,
yeah, he made a shout out to her. He said
oh,
that the only great thing about this place is my lovely wife, and she came from here. So they love each other real bad, and I love that for them.
me too. That warmed my.
Samantha.
It wasn't was Raw in Boston last week? Was it last week or some weeks ago?
Yeah, it was because they had John Cena's last Raw in Boston. Yeah,
And now AEW's in Boston,
yeah.
and then
I don't
it,
think it's like that. I think that just happened to happen. It's just one of those things I think that just happened to happen. I don't think it has any correlation.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
but
just- yeah.
yeah, it was. I see what you're saying, but I don't think that has any correlation. Yeah, but this was funny. MVP is a savage, but I love him. He's a legend. I respect him. But him and the Hurt Syndicate really like they're crazy. But honestly, I feel like Bobby Lashley should have had more opportunities at the AEW World Championship. Honestly, because he's been a world champion before, so why hasn't he had his chance? Is what I'm thinking. But I feel like that's a conversation that's for another day because it's already late. So yeah, he won and now he's in the gauntlet match. So that was cool. He's still out here doing almighty things. So, and then of course I wanted to hold space for Khan, who comes out there with Ricochet. And the other man's name escapes me. Charge it to my head, not to my heart. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Um, I'm just getting back into AEW on a more consistent basis, so I'm still learning more people.
Yeah.
But Khan with the sunglasses on, he's a wrestler. Bishop Khan, he is so fine. And I just had to hold space for that. He is also the Pan African World Diaspora Champion in the Independents. He won that championship at Ashe Wrestling in North Carolina. And he is just a very gorgeous man. He's of Cameroonian descent.
Kamaru.
He is so fine. And I just had to just hold space for that. That is a fine man. And I mean that with all the respect in the world. He is a gorgeous, gorgeous man. And I just want to give him his things because I feel like he should be a bigger deal in AEW as well. But, Bianca, please. Your face. Yeah. 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 Okay. Are you? Yeah. Do you have any words?
No.
I knew this was gonna happen.
I just love gorgeous, gorgeous men. That's all.
It's like men like him and Oprah Femi and Trick Williams just remind me of just why I love black men. I love everybody and I love all men, but I love black men, baby. Ain't nothing like them.
Like
Thank you, Jesus.
you have oiled biceps. Oh my god. I don't know if that's sweat or oil. I don't know, but you have that. You have a face looking like the voice of Mufasa in the live action movie. You have dreads. I don't know if that's a tail or a wig in your hand, but I don't know what it is. And that, oh
I
my god.
think I'm not entirely sure what the name for that is, but I think it is something that's it feels very African, but I'm not entirely sure what the name of it is.
Whatever
But
it is,
either way,
he's a man of
he's
culture.
he he is holding it, hon.
He is a man of culture, and I respect that.
Yes, he
Oh
is
my
holding it. He's holding that title.
and he's tatted. Oh my god. Ugh.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Khan. Hopefully
Congratulations to
he'll
you.
have bigger and more things in the future. In AEW. So yeah. He's a gorgeous guy. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to hold space for that. So now we're gonna move forward. Um Also, a really amazing match that happened on Dynamite slash Collision was the trios tag team match between Skyflight, that's Darius and Dante Martin. I think his name is, yeah, Darius and Dante Martin, and Scorpio Sky going up against the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander, the Walking Weapon. This match was fantastic. If you're looking for like high flying action, this was definitely that type of match. And I enjoyed it very much because I love high flying stuff. And I was impressed by Scorpio Sky because he looks like a heavyweight, but he moves like super quick, like a cruiserweight. And I love that. He reminds me a lot of Apollo Crews in
Mm.
the fact that they look like they could be heavyweights, but yet they move so quickly that you would think that they would be a cruiserweight. So this match was fantastic. I couldn't find any in action pictures of it, but I did just want to highlight it still.
I love a good top rope toss. I love it when they go out over the top rope and do amazing flips.
Me too.
It's great to see.
I love it. Like I love it a lot. And the
Yeah.
Young Bucks, of course, they're basically like, you could essentially say they're pioneers of that type of tag team wrestling. So they were game for all of the things. So it was cool. I really enjoyed this match. So this was a really solid episode of Aid of Dynamite slash Collision. So it was great. So of course Collision does not come on this Saturday because this Saturday is Full Gear. So watch that if you want. Get into that if you want. But yeah, this episode was really great this past Wednesday. So moving into the SmackDown side of things, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley had a sit down tonight and they talked about their differences. And Rhea told her, she was like, look, I understand that you might not trust me, but I trust you because I always had a great amount of respect for you. And if there was anybody I was going to trust to go to war with, it would be you. And Charlotte just essentially agreed and said, okay, fine, let's just put our stuff to the side and let's team together. I really love that they had this segment because it made them. I feel like it's very often that we see men having standalone segments like this. So the fact that Charlotte and Rhea had that, sit down and that real talk tonight was very refreshing. I
This
liked
rem-
it a lot.
this reminds me of that segment with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes before WrestleMania.
Hmm.
And that their face off in the middle of the football field.
Oh, you mean at Bad Blood, before Bad Blood?
Was that Bad Blood?
That
Or
was Bad
WrestleMania?
Blood, yeah. That was
What?
Bad Blood
Okay.
because Cody was the champion the first time still, and they had to team together against Solo, um, and I can't remember who was Solo's tag team partner, but basically Cody and Roman decided that they were going to tag team um against Solo and his other family member who he was tagging with. And yeah, and that's what that whole dramatic thing was. And they were in the middle of the Georgia Tech football field in
Yes.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
which was and another event that I got to go to. So that was fun.
I love that. And
That
but
was really fun.
I'm glad that you talked. I'm glad that you mentioned that this woman segment, because like 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 you said, we don't see many women segments like this. So that so seeing this was really cool, because like now that this is now that this is created, this is like the catalyst for future segments like this, and
Exactly.
more build up for more women's events, because women have potential like what we see here, and there's always room for growth, and I can't wait to see, I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Yeah, and women are not only just the potential, they are the stars that are equal too. Because when you
Yeah,
think about Roman and the Romans and the Codys and the Punks, it's like we're getting to a level now where Rhea and Charlotte, and then Bianca to a degree, are essentially the bigger stars for the women's divisions and EO as well. So with that being the case, they should be presented on the same level as the men are.
agreed.
And this is exactly what this gives, and we just want to see more of it. So I appreciated this a lot. I really appreciate this. This was really cool. It gave really big stakes. I liked it. And then, of course, as we move, Chelsea Green, the women's United States champion and the AAA mixed tag team champion, was set to have a celebration for being the new women's United States champion, but she kept getting chased around by Julia, who was trying to get a rematch. And then she was saying that she canceled her celebration, saying that the vibes weren't vibing and the moon wasn't mooning. And it was so funny. She was like, the vibes aren't vibing and the moons aren't mooning. And I was just like, oh my God, Chelsea. And then she talked about how she was basically like the greatest champion in WWE. And then up pops Jade. She was like, you're the greatest what? And Chelsea was like, I didn't mean that. And she basically runs away again. So
I
Chelsea is so hilarious, bro.
love Chelsea.
Me too.
She's
I
so
love her down.
unserious, but she's so unserious but serious.
I
You
love
know?
her down.
Yeah.
And Jade here again is just presenting herself as the big bad, and I love it.
You can
The big
tell
bad
Chelsea.
Scar, who's really just trying to tell every woman, like, look, I'm that, you know.
And
Hmm.
he is.
And is.
Yo, you can tell Chelsea wants to laugh so bad.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if she really wants to laugh. I don't know if she wants to laugh or if she just wants to like cry because that's Jade, man. That is big bad Jade, hun.
And the fact, I love that Chelsea can take a hit and she sells it. And it's so hilarious.
Right. She's a treasure.
Yeah.
She is literally one of our greatest treasures that we should appreciate. We love you, Chelsea.
Love you, Chelsea. Chelsea, great.
Oh God, I miss that so
Yeah.
much. Oh, the way that that just took me back. Okay. And then, of course, in terms of it's full circle, in terms of talking about Survivor Series for the women, team, I think I'm just going to call them Team Allies of Convenience, decided to announce who their fifth woman is going to be. And it's AJ. Hey, we loved it, but they didn't get to celebrate that long because, of course, Team Nia Jax came out and started attacking them. But then, just when AJ was trying to come up and help her team fight off Team Nia, out pops Becky. Bitter Becky. she's out here and she has now aligned herself with Team Nia. And now we have our fifth woman for each team.
The build up to this. The build up.
Hmm. It's like, eventually that AJ and Becky are going to have to fight one-on-one.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, the build up to it is fantastic.
I didn't know how the build up would be like, or if I knew there would be a build up, but I just didn't. It was just too. I don't know. Well, the build up took time.
It did. And
And
I think sometimes as much as we might want to rush things, sometimes the slow cook is literally the best option. Especially for the women too, because we've seen the slow cook work for the men. Now let's do it for the girls, and I like it.
Me too.
And it's like, you feel like Becky and AJ's rivalry is definitely like WrestleMania caliber. So I think we're in good territory here. I like it.
Me
I'm
too.
definitely looking forward to the War Games match for the women. I'm looking forward to both of them, but definitely for the women. Because like I said earlier, like AJ getting to participate in a match that did not exist for her. And then of course you have Becky who just wants to get her lick back on AJ for, embarrassing her twice. First at WrestlePalooza and then at Raw and making her lose her IC title. Like, there's just a lot. Becky, there's a lot of layers here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be explored in a very extreme way. So I'm pumped. I'm definitely pumped.
Me too.
Now, I decided to put this picture up here because when it comes to SmackDown and the men, Ilya Dragunov, of course, is the United States champion. But in this picture, of course, you see this name, Jordan Devlin. So just to paint the picture for you, Bianca, because you're looking kind of like what?
Because I see Big Head, what's his name?
Is JD McDonough.
JD.
So this was the both of them in NXT UK.
Of course, JD.
Yeah, this was them in NXT UK, and they had a really huge rivalry dating back to the Indies, like they said on commentary tonight, and also within NXT and NXT UK. And that's what their match was giving. And I couldn't find any in-action pictures of them tonight, but I wanted to share at least this one because I was a fan of the NXT UK brand. And this match was definitely giving the intensity of that. So it was really good. I enjoyed it. There was a couple of moments where I thought for sure JD McDonough was going to win, but he didn't. And Ilya Dragunov was having too much fun with the pain he was inflicting on JD, and he retained. So, yeah. Good stuff.
Well, I forgot about the NXT North American champ. Is that still a thing?
No, the NXT North American Championship, I think that is still a thing because
The UK, I'm sorry.
the UK, no, it's not. NXT UK is
Oh.
not a thing anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think they got rid of it 2 years ago. And it made me so sad because you have people like him and Gunther and JD McDonough, and to a degree, even Finn Balor and Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, who became of prominence because of that brand, and even Lyra Valkyria too. Like, it was nuts when they got rid of it. I was sad, but and then I really feel like they were bringing a lot of people there into regular NXT, so I think that kind of was like the writing on the wall there. So either way, it was a really solid brand. I liked it a lot. So, yeah.
I like
And
the
I
belt.
actually, yeah, oh, I love the belt. My boyfriend has that belt. And then I also have the women's UK one too.
Oh. I love
Yeah.
that.
It's a beautiful belt. So at least, we have rare belts that even though it's been discontinued, we still have them. So,
Yeah.
and it matches. So it's great. Yeah. And then we have Carmelo Jesus. Oh, when I tell you Carmelo Hive, Hayes Hive, we are up by 1,000 because Carmelo won his match against Bronson Reed and he's moving forward in the last time is now tournament.
Oh,
And
good.
this blessed my soul because Carmelo was someone who I touted for wanting to be one of John Cena's last opponents. When I wrote an article for Daily DDT, he was one of the three people I mentioned who should fight him because him and John Cena are both from Boston, Massachusetts.
Hmm.
When Carmelo first showed up on NXT before it became NXT 2.0, he challenged Adam Cole and he said that he had ruthless aggression, just like John Cena did.
Oh my God.
So, it's just the idea of both of them being essentially from the same place and him seeing John Cena sort of like as his guide and light to a degree. I was just like, Carmelo needs to fight him. Like, what's going on? And the idea that now he's moving forward in the tournament with the assist to Team Cody Rhodes, and Team CM Punk, because of course, with Bronson Reed coming out there, the Vision was gonna come out there and help him cheat. And it was frustrating me and I was yelling at the TV. But here we are. Carmelo won, and now he is going forth on Raw to face Gunther. But I am hoping that somehow or another that there's a miracle and he beats Gunther because honestly, in my opinion, Gunther does not need this tournament.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
I'm
He
glad you
just
said.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Wait, what'd you say, Bianca?
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I feel like I he does not need this tournament because Gunther, as much as his aura is about him holding a title and holding a championship, because he was he was the NXT UK champion for a very long time until Ilya beat him for it. And then he got brought up to the main roster and he held on to the IC title for like 666 days. And then he lost it. And
Yeah,
then he became world heavyweight champion, and he was unbeatable with that. And that was cool for a second. And then he won it back. And yeah, and that was cool for a second. But my thing is, someone with the aura of him, with the way that he's been built up, he does not need this tournament. He does not need the distinction of being the final opponent for John Cena because we already know that he's a part of the future of wrestling. I feel like this chance deserves to go to somebody else. And if I had a choice, it would be Carmelo because outside of him, and I said this a lot, outside of him winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year, which I was happy for him for, in comparison to his other compatriots that he got called up with, he hasn't really been in a position to accomplish as much. And I feel like for someone who showed how talented he is tonight and even over the past couple of months, he deserves more. He deserves more. And if there's anybody who should become the new IC champion and dethrone and just completely dethrone John Cena and fight him in his last match, it should be Carmelo Hayes. It shouldn't be anybody else. It shouldn't be Gunther. It shouldn't be anybody else. It should be Carmelo.
we see his growth. I remember I remember when he first when I I remember seeing him for the first time, not not developed yet, and now he's main. I mean, he is on the main roster. What are you talking about, Bianca? The growth from NXT to now, and now he's getting married and on his way to great things. It's great to see
Yeah, it
as
is great to see.
from the outside looking in.
Right. And then as it stands now, like him, and then also from the perspective that a lot of people are looking at with a microscope at this point,
Yeah.
it's just with the notion of him between him and Javon Evans, those were the only two black men in the tournament.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, I feel like with the circumstances of things, Carmelo Hayes and Javon Evans were the only two black men in the whole last time is now tournament. And I just, there needs to be a come to Jesus moment that people on the main roster who's booking the main roster needs to come to grips with. And the fact is that the future of wrestling is very much black. Because of course we have Jade as a champion. We've seen Bianca Belair be an awesome champion. But
Mhm.
it has not been since Bobby Lashley that we've seen a top black man and in WWE at this point. And there needs to be a come to Jesus moment about that. And Carmelo Hayes does not deserve to be held back. I'm hoping it has nothing to do with black men not being seen as stars or whatever, but we've seen the complete opposite. But at the same time, how do you know how they're gonna do if you don't give them the chance to try?
Right. Oh, right. Talk
It's like
about.
you need to give them the chance to try, and Carmelo Hayes has proven that he can fly. And I do see a comment that popped up that said that he needs a gimmick. But my thing is, yeah, he can wrestle, and yeah, his gimmick is that he is him, and he does make basketball references from time to time about him being him. And there just needs to be more of a presentation thing with him that makes him like fully stand out. But my thing is the talent is there. You just need to give him the opportunity. It's like you'll give Braun Breaker opportunities to cosplay with the World Heavyweight Championship, after Seth Rollins had to give it up and after he got betrayed by the Vision and all that. And then you'll big people like him up as the future, but you don't do that as much for Carmelo. Like, I feel like the first time I've heard them say Carmelo is the future was tonight on commentary. And that's a problem for me because Carmelo was the first round draft pick on SmackDown when he first got called up. He had a match against Cody Rhodes. He held his own in that regard. So for the life of me, it makes no sense that he hasn't been given his just due and given the presentation. Like, what is it? Like what's the problem? I'm very passionate about this because I love Carmelo. He's a friend of the pod. He has supported us, supported me, and all the things. So it's just kind of like y'all need to strap the rocket to this man. You have a layup here. Focus, lock in.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to take up all the time of talking because I tried not to do that with you, Bianca, but I'm
Go
just really
ahead.
passionate.
Hey, this is you. I'm glad you spoke. You
I'm just really passionate about it. Like, give him the chance. Like, just do it. It's not hard.
It wouldn't be like that if it was someone like Braun Breaker who was a nepo baby,
Mm,
mind you.
right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
frustrating. It's frustrating. But I'm
yeah.
glad that Carmelo got this win.
Me too.
Because I'm tired of seeing him struggle. He needs to prosper. He needs to eat.
He needs to pay for his wedding.
He needs to be a champion.
Yeah.
The wedding stuff can figure itself out. He needs to be a champion. But in talking about champions, Cody Rhodes got on the microphone after getting attacked, which surprised me that he even came out there to even help even the odds for Carmelo because he got attacked on the bus by Drew McIntyre, who left SmackDown after that because, of course, he's been banned. Um, he got out there and got on the microphone and essentially told Team Vision that they were in his playground because he said War Games is my birthright.
Oh,
I as much as sometimes people talk about not nostalgia, but nepotism in wrestling and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. When it comes to Cody Rhodes, he brings it up when it's factual. And he doesn't try to swing around the fact, oh yeah, Dusty Rhodes is my dad. No, like he has his own name out here. He's a Rhodes because he's a Rhodes in his own way. But when he brings up the fact that my daddy did this and this is my birthright, that gagged me. And then when he brought up the fact that Steiners have never been successful against Rhodes, that gagged me too. I was like, come on. Come on, Cody. Come on. Tell them. Tell them, tell them, tell them. Let these people know that it is Big Rhodes energy. Okay. He said, "This match is my birthright. Steiners have never been successful against Rhodes." And then he told We Don't Talk About Bruno that the last 2 times we fought, I beat you, because that's true, he did. Baby, y'all gonna stop playing with Cody. It's big Cody, not the little one. He is Jalen Hurts, and the rest of y'all are just behind. So Cody did what he yeah, he said what need to be said. I loved it.
Me too. I see, and talking about when we talk about Cody Rhodes, and I didn't watch Dusty Rhodes growing up, but I got to know him as he was and next helping develop the future stars, and
Yeah.
getting to know him. My God, Dusty Rhodes is funny. He's
Yeah.
hilarious. Oh my God, the things he says and just his mannerisms and his attitude. I like
And then he had a brilliant mind for the business as well, because I mean, literally, he invented the War Games concept. So, like, he invented Starcade. A lot of the things that people enjoyed from back in the day in wrestling was because of Dusty. And he had an eye and a mind for talent, like you said with the NXT stuff. So Dusty is literally Big Papa out here, or was Big Papa out here. I gotta say, rest in peace to him. But yeah.
oh, makes sense. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Dusty.
Thank you, Dusty, hon. And thank you for Cody too. Thank you and Mama Rhodes for Cody.
Yes. Mama Rose, we love you.
Mama Rhodes. Oh my God. The Rock help.
I
Um
know.
also another thing I wanted to mention, DIY and their "Don't Call My Best Friend a Jackass" t-shirts had me weak. Because Ilya Dragunov has been calling Tommaso Ciampa a jackass for like weeks. And then the fact that they put him on t-shirts just destroyed me tonight. I was like, that is so funny. Hilarious stuff.
First, we're not friends, and now this. I love that.
But the thing I didn't love was the fact that Candice LeRae snatched off Axiom's mask. The disrespect.
I think I missed that. Oh my God.
Yeah, Fraxium had a tag team match against DIY, and Candice snatched off Axiom's mask while he was on the top rope watching Nathan Frazier like do like a backflip or something onto Johnny, I think. And I was like, it was so disrespectful.
So you saw his face?
No, not really. You didn't see his face because he covered up like super fast. So no, you
Yeah.
didn't.
Okay.
And then Nathan, after the match was over, Nathan got a towel and covered his face.
My God, I hate when people do that.
Me too. It's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
You do not disrespect the mask.
Right.
But
Mr. has been through a lot.
yeah, but you know, you just don't do that. But they're just being nefarious and mean. So DIY help. And here again, this is another week on SmackDown where I'm trying to figure out, where are the Street Profits?
True. Yes.
Where are they? I'm tired. Like, speaking of, with this picture here, where's Montez? Where's Angela? We haven't seen them since Crown Jewel. Where they at?
Where's the New Day?
The New Day is on Raw, but you know,
True.
yeah. Where are the Street Profits, bro? Bring them back. But now we've reached the end of our time together. So thank you guys for watching this episode of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. And of course, if you did not catch it live, like I said, you can watch it on the YouTube channel, which is the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Of course, share those clips every time you see them running around on your YouTube reels, because I do post there. Also, listen to the show everywhere you get your audio show. which is, of course, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and I think also Amazon Music. Um, Listen to it everywhere like that. And yeah, just follow me, your girl Stephanie Hardy, on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy. Follow the show, The Hardy Wrestling Podcast, at Hardy Wrestling Podcast on Instagram and on Twitter at Hardy Wrestle Pod. Also, read my articles on Daily DDT. I'm still working on some stuff with them, so please be on the lookout for whatever new pieces I write. And also, the Hardy Wrestling Podcast is a sponsor of Big Valley Wrestling fighting champion Tanaya, who will be in action at Big Valley Wrestling's anniversary show in Las Vegas in the next few weeks. So hopefully we'll be able to interview her in a couple of weeks leading up to her match. So I'm very happy to sponsor and do business with any promotion. So if you are interested in that, just email me or DM me for that. And yeah, just be on the lookout because you just never know where I might pop up. So Bianca, tell everybody where they can find and follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Bianca Addison. And I have a ring announcing TikTok where I post my ring announcing videos of WWE superstars. You can find that on Ebony Rose, EBONI Rose Ringside on Twitter and on Instagram and on TikTok.
Awesome sauce. So, of course, this has been the Hardy Wrestling Podcast with your girl Stephanie Hardy and Bianca Addison. And until next time, bye, y'all.
Bye.